It's just like straight news, and that's it. And it just like passes by, and then we have our own like real estate fraud things going on, stuff like that.
Like these are not discussed in detail in Korea.
Welcome to today's favorite K-pop show, DK News. David, hot ass tea. First off, we have Brave Girls and the Trot King winning over Rosé, IU, and Shiny. What is happening to K-pop right now?
The world is changing. And second, we have rapper Blacknut having to pay a very, very heavy fine for dissing another rapper with a sexual insult.
Okay, and last but not least, we have the biggest news in the world right now. Hashtag Stop Asian Hate. K-pop celebrities and K-pop idols step up and take action to the movement.
On to the
First news. So starting off with some bright news, Brave Girls is continuously on the roll because not only are they appearing on You Quiz on the Block, Running Man, Edward's channel, and literally everywhere, every single TV show out there, but they are actually winning on music show programs, which is the most important. On the 21st, Brave Girls added another #1 win on SBS's Inkigayo following their previous 5 wins for the past 2 weeks. They're on a winning streak. They're really rolling. What is even more amazing is that the competitors Brave Girls are against aren't any rookie groups or novice groups. For the #1 spot, they were directly up against Blackpink's Rosé and Shiny. And on Music Bank, they were up against IU.
Wow, very big names.
Strong competitors there. But despite that, they won #1 on 5 or 6 of these shows. And Brave Girls member Min Young said during her acceptance speech that among everything else that's happening right now, it hits differently when a singer, an idol group like them, wins #1 on a music show. It's more meaningful than anything.
Especially if you consider how like they never won anything.
Right.
And now they do after like 7 years.
Yeah, we interview idols every other day, and they always have that bucket list. It's always #1 on there, like winning #1 on the music show programs. Yeah, so Brave Girls also showed their amazement and gratefulness via Instagram about earning 6 consecutive wins. Also, they caught more buzz because they mentioned the Korean army soldiers among their thank you list during the acceptance speech.
Like the real army.
Normally, they're like, oh, thank you to our producer team, thank you to our company, our staff, our makeup artists, blah, 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 blah. Never has there been Korean army soldiers mentioned in that list before.
Especially at Music Bank.
That mention really warmed up the Korean people's hearts.
They know who to thank.
Yeah, and for those of you who might not know that much about Brave Girls, they recently became viral due to the Korean army dudes going crazy over their performances, so they can directly thank them. Anyways, in the meantime, it's not only Brave Girls making miracles. Actually, Brave Girls need to be on the watch because someone is catching up.
Oh boy.
Im Young-un, Im Hero, the Trot King, released a song called My Love Like the Starlight.
Sounds like a Trot song.
Yeah. He appeared on show Music Core on the 20th and eventually won #1.
Trot #1.
Yeah. No, just
I know.
#1.
Trot getting #1.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Im Young-un was up against Rosé and IU as well. What is happening? Like, seriously, he stated that he never thought a Trot singer or a song could win #1 on a music show program, which is usually composed of idol groups with strong
much more
fandoms.
Younger fandoms.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think there's much to analyze, but a lot of people said that the secret behind his win was, of course, of his zealous fandom, composed of mostly relatively old people. There were numerous posts on K-pop communities showing screenshots of their text votes, saying that they got threatened by their mom and grandma or aunt to vote for Im Young-un. So what's funny is that if you look at the screenshots, like they have their past history voting, and it's either like NCT, and then suddenly it's Im Young-un.
So, but like even my parents, they are crazy about Trot King.
Yeah.
And they asked me to like, why don't you interview like these Trot singers
Yeah.
on your channel and things like that. And they actually legit believe that this is a thing among even young people, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll kind of diss my grandma here because like I live with my grandma and 24/7, I'm not even joking. Not even 23/7, it's 24/7, 25/7. They are on the screen. I'm not joking. That she watches replays and replays. On YouTube, now elderly people have even started making YouTube tutorials and guides on how to vote for Im Young-woon. So for old people, it's a very hard process, like getting the hashtag, you know, #5 whatever.
I don't even know how to do that shit.
And then type in the name and stuff like that. It's very hard. There's a digital divide there. But these silver YouTubers, I'm not even kidding. He's a grandpa. He's making tutorial guides step by step on how to vote for Im Young-woon. So yeah,
this is actually Im Young-woon is helping the digital divide gap become smaller.
Yeah, I guess. And yeah, he's bringing also diversity to the music scene as well. And I've seen a lot of young people complaining and like, you know, conflicting about like, you know, their faves not getting the number one and stuff.
They should blame their parents for not having any more kids.
Oh, that too. But also, I feel like at the same time, Brave Girls or Im Young-woon, they've done their effort as well, and they deserve the wins. And also, those big fandoms from K-pop idol groups have been dominating these music show programs for forever. And they should know that the size of the fandom and their firepower is what gets these idols to win. Now, like the silver fandom is coming in, and they're
playing your game.
And they're winning, and now you're mad and upset about that. That's reverse.
People are actually legit mad.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
They are like, oh, why the fuck is Trot intruding into like music programs? Like, I don't want to see this dude. You know, like how the fuck did he get like 1,000 points on text messages and stuff like that?
Yo, old people have phones too.
Yeah. Anyways, they're playing your game and you're losing, so you got to step up your game.
Or maybe have some kids.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting for the next 2 or 3 weeks to see who's going to win. Like either it's Brave Girls, Im Young-woon, will their firepower last, or whether Blackpink's Rosé or IU Shiny will come up again. Honestly, it's a crazy era that we're living in, seeing 3-year-old songs and Trot artists, you know, winning over Blackpink's Rosé. So yeah, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, I just think, we gotta look at Trot and Brave Girls a little separately. Trot is like your grandma. It's like a national phenomenon.
Yeah.
I mean, Brave Girls is a national phenomenon too, but I think it's backed much by its success story.
Yeah.
Like how, you know, they went through the struggle. I think that story is just such a heartwarming story, especially in a time like this.
It's the same for Trot, actually. When I asked my grandma, why do you like these people so much? Oh, they have nowhere to go except home because they're stuck during COVID. And these guys suddenly appeared and started melting our hearts. They gave us like an escape.
But old people listened to Trot before there was COVID.
But it wasn't this hyped up. It wasn't this hyped up.
True,
And there wasn't a fandom.
Right. It wasn't a legitimate.
And Trot singers were all like over their 50s or 60s.
There were no new faces.
Im Young-woon is the same age as us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, he's earning like pegok from 광고s and stuff.
Respect guy. He knows how to make the cash.
I just want to congratulate Brave Girls and Im Young-woon for their success. I wish that goes on for a long time.
And I wish there were more stories like this in K-pop because I think it really diversifies the type of music that people are exposed to.
And I really don't hope there are any like people that think we're Blackpink antis or anything. You know, they won fair and
I don't
square.
even like Im Young-woon, okay, guys?
I like Blackpink Rosé 1,000 times more than Im Young-woon, okay? But I admit that these silver fandoms know what they're doing.
Right.
Okay.
So win over your parents and on to these
Next news.
Rapper Blacknut has lost a 4-year legal battle with fellow rapper Kitty B. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting story.
And old story. It's been 4 years already.
Yes.
Wow.
The 4-year legal battle between two Korean rappers came to a close on March 19th as Seoul Western District Court ruled rapper Blacknut to pay 25 million Korean won, or which is 22,000 USD, in compensation for rapper Kitty B for defamation. This was a civil trial. It concluded all the trials, but the criminal trials had already finished. In the Supreme Court, They went to Supreme Court
Wow.
for this
Okay.
in 2019, which ordered Blacknut to 6 months in prison with a 2-year probation period for defamation. Now, Kitty B, she's a rapper that sued Blacknut, and she sued him in 2017 for his lyrics in the song Indigo Child, where he states, "I'll be honest, I jacked off to Kitty B's picture, but that was before Unpretty Rap Star." So Unpretty Rap Star, Kitty B appeared in, and I think Blacknut was also like a guest there, and so like he was talking about how he saw her in real life and was disappointed. And Blacknut also stated in another song, "I wouldn't screw Kitty B if she was given to me for free," in a song called Too Real. So he not only insulted her once, but on multiple occasions. Obviously, Kitty B was very uncomfortable regarding the lyrical matter and also the performance of the songs. In the Supreme Court verdict, the ruling stated the song only borrows from the form of hip-hop. However, it is not hip-hop, it is mere sexual insults without reason or context.
So the Supreme Court is defining what hip hop is or not.
They said this is not hip hop.
Okay, wow. So I didn't know judges were from Show Me the Money.
At the time of Kitty B suing, opinions were divided among the Korean hip hop community. While many saw the case to be standing on a legal measure, like it is definitely sexual insults and harassment. Some felt it was very un-hip hop for a rapper to rebut to a diss track with not a song but a defamation lawsuit, right? However, it also sparked a debate on what is acceptable in the boundaries of Korean hip-hop. Many rappers, including Blacknut himself, went on to claim that dissing to the extent of his lyrics is a part of hip-hop culture. However, many also rebutted that Korean hip-hop itself has grown in a completely different environment from its roots. So it should be expected that it has its own set of rules apart from the origins of hip-hop culture. So regardless of what side you're on, this verdict will definitely bring a change in Korean hip-hop with rappers being more conscious of what they write. So how do you view all this?
So I think regardless of hip-hop rules or whatever, at the end, the person who is writing the lyrics and the person who is getting dissed, it depends on what they think individually as a person.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, so like if the victim claims she is a victim and she feels sexually harassed, then it is sexual harassment. The writer himself has to endure that risk if he wants to diss that person. Even if it's not about sexual harassment or whatever, like let's say I diss Danny and say like you have a micro penis and you get like
that's sexual harassment.
Oh yeah. You get offended by that and you decide to go to court, then I have to, take responsibility on my consequences.
See, here's the thing though. Some people are saying Kitty B's not a real rapper anymore. So I think what she did was, it's not like she walked off this scar-free.
Yeah.
She traded in her street cred for legal justice. She made a decision, and that's totally fine, up to her.
I don't know what's gonna happen to her career, or will she pursue...
Actually, she doesn't rap anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe she got really hurt.
Yeah, maybe this is her retirement from her game. But good luck to her. And apparently, Blacknut, he was saying that he's broke. If you guys know Blacknut, he's like very controversial. Yeah. He's not the type that would make a lot of money doing,
I'll make it very easy for you. It's Danny times 5.
It's like when Eminem was edgy, even in the court dates. Like he wore like t-shirts that would promote his new album. He actually posted on Instagram a few days ago saying, well, now I gotta work to pay this debt. Yeah. His music is fucked up, but whatever it is, he believes in it. Right?
He has that niche.
Right. If you listen to his songs, he talks about literally like bringing a bus full of prostitutes to his mom.
I tried listening to his music before. I couldn't. I have one song that I like from his. It's called Benzino.
Oh, it's about how he wants to be Benzino, and he's like, I want Benzino's
nipple,
bitches,
Benzino's like
blah,
pubic
blah,
hair.
blah.
He wants to be Benzino's booger and everything, and I relate to that song. I want to be Benzino's hair too.
Onto the That's sexual harassment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, then I want to be Benzino's boogers.
Yeah, okay. On to the next news.
Okay, so K-pop stars hashtag stop Asian hate. Recently, a very tragic and infuriating incident happened. As everybody might know already, they've seen the news. A Robert Aaron Long shot 8 people to death at a young Asian spa located in a city in Atlanta, Georgia, and along with other spas as well.
Right.
He went on a shooting spree
3 spas, right?
to these spas. Anyways, among the 8 people, 4 were Korean women, which triggered a large hashtag stop Asian hate movement that was already going on for a while.
Right.
But it just like became that huge catalyst worldwide. In the meantime, the police are still investigating the case, and the killer has so far been denying that his shooting was racially motivated. And there was this one policeman that got a lot of backlash for saying that Long was having a bad day. And also when the police reported that the crime might have stemmed from Long's sex addiction, it became a huge controversy, eventually resulting in this police spokesperson resigning, and also the police stating that they would not rule out the possibility of the shooting being racially motivated. Anyways, you might get more details on this case on various news outlets, but let's see how Korea is reacting to this horrible incident. First of all, vocal K-pop stars stepped up to speak about the issue. On the 19th, Eric Nam sent an article to the Times about the case with the title, "If you're surprised by the anti-Asian violence in Atlanta, you haven't been listening. It's time to hear our voices." Eric Nam stated in the article, while prosecutors and law enforcement still debate whether to designate the murders as hate crimes, millions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, including myself, are left feeling abandoned and overwhelmed with memories of our past, the realities of our present, and our fears for our collective future in a country we love. I was born and raised in Atlanta, and some of the murders took place near my old stomping grounds. I was filled with shock, grief, frustration, and then anger. As attacks on AAPIs have spiked over the last 12 months, the calls for help and the warning signs from our community have felt ignored, as if the stories were about people living on the other side of the world, not about your neighbors in America. He went on talking about how being an AAPI in America is traumatic and brings on an identity crisis due to white supremacy and being the subjects of the model minority myth. AAPIs have been excluded, interned, vilified, emasculated, fetishized, and murdered. He then ended the writing urging people to break the silence and take action against the case, criticizing that Asians have been pleading for help more than ever over the past year, but nobody has listened so far. Respect to Eric Nam, well said, well done. Following Eric Nam, many other K-pop stars took action to voice support on the movement on social media. For example, CL, Tablo, J Park, they've always been vocal, and many more have posted the hashtag Stop Asian Hate with a GoFundMe page in support for AAPI, which we also donated here. Go check out the link if you want to support. If you can't, please spread the hashtag, and you can post it on your social media as well. So on to the Korean comments. Most of the Korean comments, like I guess 70 to 80%, from my observation, either complimented Eric Nam for being very vocal and courageous about the matter, or were very furious and sad about the situation, participating with the Stop Asian Hate hashtag movement. And one said towards the police investigation, "No evidence is bullshit. What would happen if an Asian shot 8 white Americans? I bet they would find evidence so fast." Another commenter said, "Thanks to Eric Nam's article, I got to know about the Atlanta incident. It reminded me again that racism against Asians are a serious problem. I wish Asians will not be the victim of white supremacy or racism ever again." So, those were the sane comments. Now we're entering the insane. Oh no. There were some comments. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. A lot. Yeah, I said 70 to 80% were good. Right. So 20% is still a lot. I saw a lot of these. I'm not exaggerating or anything. Yeah. So these comments baffled me personally.
I'm worried now.
Yeah, many of the upvoted comments, actually upvoted on like the top sector, had the narrative, China is the cause and to be blamed, it's all because of China.
China did nothing. I mean, like, in this situation.
Yeah.
If you're talking about this shooting, why would you blame China?
That's why I didn't understand either. But like the commenters went on saying stuff such as, okay, we can talk to America all we want, but why isn't anybody speaking up to China?
What?
And another commenter said, it's true that racism against Asians exists and it should stop, but in this case, China gave the cause. China had the information about the virus and made this whole pandemic situation. China should apologize to the world. Koreans don't want to be grouped as Chinese people. I don't know where this logic's coming from, but anyways, it seems like many Koreans were blaming China for these kind of racially charged crimes happening all over the world and wanted China to take action or apologize or whatever on the issue.
Why would China apologize for American white man shooting Korean and Asian people?
I don't know. Yeah, this makes no sense. Well, it sounds very similar to the former president of the United States, what he said. And his supporters are making these kind of crimes. Yeah, personally, it was very confusing to see how these Koreans reacted with more hate towards China than the actual killer. Also, this is not it. There were also very small disputes here. I would say like this is like 1 to 5%, but still it was very irritating for my eye. These small disputes were saying things such as these irrelevant celebrities can speak up all they want. It'll mean nothing. It'll change nothing. Figures like BTS should say something. And of course, in the replies, like armies are like, who are you to force BTS to say something? Like they are going to say something if they want to. And then there are those people relating it to the BLM movement saying stuff like, so where are all of those loud folks who threatened us back then saying, open your wallet, open your purse. If you stay silent, you're racist, while they were looting our stores in K-Town. I guess a lot of people are salty about like how big the BLM movement was and everyone was forcing like all POCs, you know, to
join in,
unite, donate and stuff, while Stop Asian Hate isn't getting that much buzz relatively. Those were very toxic comments, and I want to remind you again that the majority of the comments were full of rage and sadness. I said 70 to 80%. But the reason I brought these stupid comments up is because, well, first, I'm seeing quite a lot of them. But yeah, these dumb fucks need to be called out, publicly shamed, and educated.
So I don't know if they're gonna see this video, but yeah.
I don't care. Like, if I can change one person's mind, if I can let our viewers know to go call out these then I think there's change. Other people are doing all the good work, you know, spreading hashtags, spreading awareness, and, you know, donating and stuff. We participated too, but I think this kind of counteraction is needed too for these stupid dumb. Yeah, I like to say the focus here is not about China, it's not about BLM, it's about racism and the fact that 8 people were shot to death. And I don't know why that's so hard to understand. This kind of Asian hate, racism has been going on since forever, for centuries, and I just can't believe that people are trying to victim shame the people who were shot to death. Some people are calling them like semi-prostitutes or whatever, or some people are trying to, as you've seen, divert the racism towards Chinese people or making additional racial tension between black people and Asian people. So like, I don't understand what's going on in the logics of these people's minds. I guess these people are either psychopaths or racist themselves. That was my rant. I was kind of furious watching those comment sections. So what do you think about all this?
I'm not in America. Again, I'm not seeing the extent of it. Like, I'm not feeling it. So you could say I'm very privileged to live. I'm the majority. I don't have to worry about these racial issues. So honestly, like, as people living in Korea, it's very difficult to get a grasp on like these racism issues to the extent of like getting shot and killed, murdered. That shit's like, it's so foreign to me. You know, it's difficult for me to speak on such topics, but at the same time, maybe that's why perhaps a lot of K-pop artists that have spoken on it are Korean American, or have American.
I've noticed that too. All of the artists that donated or like posted those hashtags were either from dive studios or like.
While I would like to see, more K-pop celebrities take part on this cause, at the same time, I know a lot of during the height of the BLM movement, I know a lot of fans were asking K-pop artists that had zero background in America to partake in the movement, and a lot of K-pop artists eventually did. But it was mostly Korean Americans. And I think the reason is because a lot of people here are completely unaware of the situation there in America.
Yeah, it's hitting the news.
It is hitting the news, but we don't like feel it like on our skin. But I wish there was some sort of like movement where not only the Korean American group of people talk about it,
Right.
but we just talk about it as, you know, Asia.
Yeah, hashtag stop Asian hate. So Asians should unite on this matter.
Right.
But like the actual Asians living in Asia aren't doing anything about it. I always blame the media whenever something like this happens and people don't get the full story or the details or the tension behind the scenes. Like all the news does is just cover the facts, superficial things. Like news is like, oh, something happened in Atlanta, 8 people were killed, 4 people were Korean. There are protests and movements called Stop Asian Hate. And there's like no emotion in it. There's no narrative in it. It's just like straight news and that's it. And it just like passes by, and then we have our own like real estate fraud things going on, stuff like that.
Like these are not discussed in detail in Korea.
I think there should be more journalists who dig deeper into these kind of stuff. I know that we can't add that much value to the table, but still, I felt like we have the platform. At least we can use it to spread awareness about the Stop Asian Hate movement as Asians ourselves, also our Asian American friends in America. Actually, we got very inspired by PD's Instagram stories.
Go check out Format Therapy.
Yeah, we felt his rage and emotion, his call to action. We actually donated right after that, and I thought that we should definitely cover this on DK News as well. So yeah, respect to everyone that's spoken up. Any kind of publicity, any kind of donation would help. The links are down below. Also, we're going to talk about all the topics that we've discussed today, from the K-hip-hop culture, dissing each other, sexual harassment, legal issues, and also the Brave Girls and Trot syndrome. What is the future of K-pop? Well, Trot. And last but not least, maybe our experiences of racism or what we've heard from our friends or in the after show. Patreon.com/DKDKTV. We do a live session with you guys for an hour talking about all these issues. So please join and stop Asian hate.
Bye-bye.